Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Mr. Dogboat333, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, 1000 Week Reich as the Republic of India. In the last video, I want to say we took out Kashmir last video. I'll be honest, I don't fully remember. It's been a while since I recorded this. I'm running on 4 hours of sleep, and I had a 120-mile drive today for my first day of college. Me and my memory aren't working the best together right now, but I think it's something like that, at least roughly. I think we were also deciding what we were going to do with Burma as well. The first part has gone up as I'm recording this. It is Monday the 22nd. And, first part has gone up. And we were trying to figure out what to do with Burma in there. Can you tell us about Indian history? What did I miss? In the campaign? Or just in the stream, real quick. Burma's just East Pakistan, aka East India. I mean, we can certainly make it that way. Let's see, what do I want to do? Internal market, trading economy. I think we'll do open market. I said in caved, some drugs and original born. Can you tell us about Indian history? I will do the best that I can to describe Indian history. First, let's do an open market. Protectionism. I don't know, the reduction of consumer goods factories is pretty good. I think I'm going to do open market. An economy cannot function properly without international trade. It's simply impossible. Therefore, we must focus our attention on our neighbors and trade with them, making sure our homeland receives all the goods and resources it needs to sustain itself. Indian history is just a lot of civil wars. So here's what I remember. A long time ago, there was a city-state called Mohenjo-Daro. It was around this area in the Pakistan along the, I believe this is the Indus River. One day they just fucking upped and disappeared and all died out, and we don't know why. Although this coincides with the time that these people called the Aryans came in. Now, I know what you're thinking, or what you would be thinking. It is not these Aryans. We don't think so, at least. Indo-Aryans are sort of a different group. This is... I'm running on 4 years of sleep, and I kind of didn't pay the most attention during this part. They moved in here, sort of invaded or settled the area. It's not really clear. Then you had a bunch of city-states. You had a couple different guys unite and de-unite the empire. You had a couple people who managed to unite it who were Indians, and then you had a couple external guys. Two notable ones that at least us strategy game people would know. The Mughals, because they're overpowered as hell in year 4. And the British, because that's the most relevant and the most recent external one. I'm going to pick research, by the way. The whole subcontinent of India was run by the East India Trade Company. And they ran it pretty questionably. To put it gently. I believe there were a couple famines, a couple murders occasionally, and eventually got so out of hand that the British Crown ended up taking control. 4 years of sleep. 4 hours of sleep. I need 4 years of sleep to function at this point. You see, this is why you probably shouldn't listen to me. The British ended up taking control a little bit after, and, or direct control. It was a little better, but you have in the 10s, 20s, 30s, movements to, decolonize the region. A lot of that was led by this guy called Gandhi, a lawyer, became known for his nonviolent protests. Had some quirky moments. Apparently he slept with, his niece or something while he was naked as a test of purity or some weird stuff like that. I don't entirely know what was up with that. Take that out of the equation, though. Not a bad dude. down with peaceful negotiations, but he also had a couple other guys. I know Boza, this guy was one of them. I believe he was a bit more down with violence. Although Gandhi ended up having his way. Ended up being after World War II. During World War II, you had a bunch of Indians, and in World War I, they really stepped up and fought for the Allies. Some of them ended up fighting for the Axis or working with them. I think Boza tried to work with the Axis or something. I don't know the most about him. Let's do engineer companies. There's also a war vet for South Africa. Yeah, Gandhi spent some time in South Africa. He did a couple stuff, I remember. Eventually, the Indians were kind of looking at the war and how the whole conflict was fought to stop this evil European power who's trying to colonize the world and force their way of life on them. And then they looked at their own situation and they thought, wait a minute. Boza was very pro-Japan, saw them pitching the partner, drive the British out. Makes sense. And so, on top of just the war, especially World War II, really beating India down, you also had the Labour government elected instead of Churchill, and they were a lot more willing to just start decolonization. Because remember, Churchill was a pretty staunch imperialist. Brutal imperialist, even. But he ended up getting, he didn't end up winning the election in 44 or 45, whenever that is. And there's some stuff in between. There's a famine here or there. Might have been caused by Churchill. Might have just been, whether it was directly or indirectly intended to happen, I think that's one of the questions that's not entirely clear from what I understand. Eventually, India ended up having its independence. Now, the question was, how's the subcontinent going to be split up? Because all of this, I don't think Nepal and Bhutan were included, but all of this was India. Now, you had, early on, you had some people asking for a one-state solution, but there was a religious divide going on between the Muslims and the Hindus. And so as the Raj was starting to split up, they eventually agreed on a two-state solution, where India would be one state, a majority Hindu state, and Pakistan would be its own state, a majority Muslim state. Now, the thing to remember is that Pakistan was made up of this, also included a lot of modern-day Bangladesh. So, Great European Refugee Crisis, the Czechoslovak. Oh! That's interesting right there. I did not know that was a thing. Okay. Well, kick that Slovak bastard out. Those that had no exam Japanese occupied Taiwan after his plane was shot down. I didn't know that. Anyway, so eventually, whether because it was inevitable or they just couldn't come to a conclusion or didn't want to, they ended up doing a two-state solution. And they also ended up hating each other. Even today, a lot of the relationship between India and Pakistan is hostile and really dictates a lot of their foreign policy, from my understanding. Let's get modern day caste going. And so India sort of dealt with some sectarian issues, because I'll go ahead and do trade and economy real quick. Economy focusing on trade can only mean good for the country, as it opens our doors to all the resources we need, but also to strong economic diplomatic ties with other nations, production of consumer goods, more resources to market, but that actually helps. India has a lot of issues because it's mainly Hindu. It also has the third largest population of Muslims in the world. It's not even close to majority, I believe. And there are some issues there going on now, but it was set up as a secular republic. It's mostly stuck to that. I think there are some contemporary worries about, what do I want to do? There's some contemporary worries about Boza, or not Boza, their current guy, Modi. Although how fair or unfair that is, I'm not entirely sure. But India's mainly stayed pretty secular. You know, it still needs to urbanize and do all that, but it's doing okay. Also, it's had some pretty hostile relations with Pakistan. There have been conflicts between them ever since. India ended up stepping in the Pakistani civil war when Bangladesh was trying to break free. Kevin Shad is bringing up how there was a pretty brutal genocide that India ended up stepping in and helping Bangladesh out. They really kind of, it's really not pretty. They both ended up getting nukes because they hate each other so much, which in some sense is kind of stabilized the region and makes sure that they probably won't go to war. But if they ever do go to war, it's not going to be pretty. So that's my rough understanding of the history of India. With my utter lack of sleep and only really knowing stuff from YouTube, Wikipedia, and a few college classes that I've taken, which goes into the topic a bit. So you can tell me in the comment section how accurate or inaccurate that is. It's not really democracy in real life, or as democratic as Russia, Hungary now. I don't think that's, from my understanding, that's not too. I know there's been worried about democratic backslipping in there, and it's not entirely unfounded from my understanding, but I think it's gotten better from my understanding. Better than Pakistan. What they had their prime minister get ousted in a vote of no confidence. Then he tried to make a comeback. I think he was just arrested by the military. Whether that's a real legitimate fear or just some political maneuvering so Pakistan can do a coup. Fuck if I know. Do you want to do offensive or defense? Let's do offensive. Do a trading economy. Get some neat little stuff from international trade. Pakistan has 17 intel servers, and all of them have ties to shady groups. Yeah. I mean... Oop. Damn, the U.S. is going ham when it comes to the wars of liberation. And I mean, I am down for it, but, damn. And some more troops. Where do we want to send them? Let's put them on the Pakistani border. So, yeah. Trading economy. And then I think I want to do the Defense League. Because that seems probably most fun. Has I been liberated? You were liberated. Norway got... I think they got the German coup, but then they got immediately invaded after the German Civil War. So, Norway's free. Let's do the Indo-Chinese Sphere of Influence. This sounds the most interesting, I think. India and China now glare at each other over the mountains of the Himalayas, ascendant and mutually wary. But another way is possible. While we have never had the most peaceful relations with the new regime in Nanjing, our mutual investments throughout Southeast Asia could pave the way for more harmonious balance in relations. A few treaties delineating our economic rights in our shared sphere, a few shared infrastructure projects, and the road to Indo-Chinese collaboration here and there in the rest of Southeast Asia is clear. Asian unity against those who would trample on us is necessary. We will build a brick by brick across our two lands. Always found funny that Thousand Reich Germany ends up winning land when they're defeated by the Toronto Accord than they did in our timeline. True. Well, what Germany pre-World War II? Had Czech Republic. Oh no. Oh, Slovakia, you fucked up. Jesus. Asian unity? Get out of here, Jason. We're having fun. Also, the guy who suggested this YouTube path suggested this could be a fun one. A fun way to do it. And I don't disagree with that. China is democratic. We're democratic. And if this doesn't work out, we just go ahead and invade them anyway. Even after your generations to come, they end up better off. Well, I mean, they lose Königsberg, which is a pretty big part of Germany. They lose Silesia. They get this little bit. And they do get Austria as well. So they keep Austria, but they lose... God, I just said the name of this area, too. I'm too tired for this. They lost Wispit, and they also lost Königsberg, so... And they lose Saarland. That is a pretty big one as well. Although they sort of lost it for a while, but they eventually got it back. I don't think they'll get Saarland back anytime soon here, though. Ooh. Having accepted and signed our proposal, Prime Minister Boza and Generalissimo Chiang Kai-shek, I don't think he's not still in power, met today at Delhi to officially declare the creation of the Asian Defense League, guaranteeing the protection of Eastern Asia from outside imperialists. The ADL, as they call it, was seen by high officials of both nations as a great movement forward, but comments from foreign leaders have been nervous, fearing a new world order in Asia being created by the two powerhouses. Together we'll stand against imperialists. Well, it's just guarantees of influence, not a faction. It's a little lame. This world, I'm shocked if a German would ever be able to cross around without a passport. True. Well, we'll set this up for next video, at least. Friends, Indians, countrymen. Actually, I'll build a few more factories. I forget what we said. Was it 75 or 80 factories? I forget. We'll ease off on a little bit. We'll ease off on it for a little bit. Gotta prolong this series a little bit more. India's, let's do Sickle in one hand, Bayonet in the other. India's been far transformed from what it was 20 years ago. We've rid ourselves of the British chains, ending the plaguing famines, brought our great nation into the 20th century in spectacular faction. We've established a powerful army and a military-industrial capacity, capable of going toe-to-toe with any fighting force on the planet. India is now truly a modern nation, and great power just as it was 500 years ago. Supposed to move into Nepal or Tibet? I believe no. I don't think so. We can't justify. So I don't think we can. Oh no. Fuck, we can't get Goa. I should have moved in on it sooner. Now they're in the core now. Although shit. Nabbing Tibet from China's India sounds super fucking funny. Funny, yes. Cursed, also yes. Ooh. What's up with the occupation of Germany? Oh. We successfully marched into Goa and raised the Indian flag, kicking out the Portuguese for good. Another piece of India, united. Are we just gonna be able to get away with that? That's my question. 9 million manpower. I think you can afford sending troops to garrison Germany. I think you're right. That's why I've done it. Like, we can send more. I really want to play Finland and Kaiser Reich. I have played Finland and Kaiserreich before, actually. It was a while ago, I want to say, but... Like, I think when it first got content, I played it. Gujarat Lads Tour, Berlin, 1956. True. Let's get working towards a... Can we not get dockyards? Excuse me, Mr. Oh. We were supposed to be able to get dockyards from that. I don't know what happened. Let's do international trade then. Like Norway, that's the 20. So dynasty Finland, Red Flood. Now that's cool. Let's do global market. We have opened our nation and our economy to international trade and are collecting the fruits of our success, but we must go further. Particularly, we shall open our market to the whole wide world. It can do nothing but benefit our society. After all, the saying goes, the freer the market, the freer the people. And my timer's about to go off, so I ended it, so I'll leave it off for the YouTube people. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, leave a like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you want to see more of this content in the future, hit the sub button for uploads weekdays, as well as occasionally Saturdays. If you have any comments, feedback, concern, anything of the sort, leave it in the comment section below. I read all the comments I get. I appreciate any all feedback you might have for me. Check out the various links I have down in the description box below. Leave any comments if you have any down in the comment section below. And yeah, that's it for now, boys. Thanks always for watching. My name has been Mr. Dogboat333. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.